Extrovert vs. Introvert, how they are different. Introverts and extroverts have a lot in common, but there are a few key differences that set them apart. Introverts tend to be more thoughtful, whereas extroverts are usually more spontaneous. Introverts can often feel drained by social situations, which extroverts typically enjoy. Lastly, introverts enjoy more time reflecting on feelings or ideas, whereas extroverts like to. 1. Communication patterns. A defining characteristic of extroverts is that they tend to be more outgoing and social than introverts, but such behaviors don't always translate to the workplace. In most cases, we don't have discretion on how much we interact with others. This is predetermined by our job responsibilities. For example, introverted middle managers might be tasked with constantly communicating with subordinates, superiors, and peers. And a prototypically extroverted sales representative might recognize that their time is limited, and therefore, they get to the point and limit small talk. Thus, specific to the workplace, introversion-extroversion doesn't always align with how much we communicate. What it does impact are our communication patterns. Specifically, introverts and extroverts differ on when and how they speak up in the presence of others. Introverts tend to speak up when they have something important or novel to say. Extroverts, however, tend to act as stewards of the conversation flow. They consistently paraphrase and summarize what's been said and where the conversation is heading. Introverts and extroverts also differ on who they choose to interact with. Extroverts tend to have wider support networks, sharing work and personal information with many. Introverts, on the other hand, tend to share just as much information, but with just a select few colleagues. It's not that introverts don't want connections with peers. They just do so with fewer people. 2. Energy. We commonly evaluate the behavioral aspects of introverts and extroverts. Are they quiet and reserved, or talkative and outgoing? Although these behaviors are helpful signals as to one's degree of introversion-extroversion, the origins of these behaviors are actually physiological and psychological. For introverts, environmental stimulation, which is plentiful in most work settings, depletes energy. For extroverts, environmental stimulation enhances energy. Thus, when introverts don't seem to talk much, it's typically because they have depleted their energy tank or are proactively trying to reserve their energy for later. Further, extroverts aren't talking just to hear themselves talk. To them, stimulation through interaction is like Popeye eating a can of spinach. It gives them what they need to feel alive and well. 3. Information processing. Intelligence is typically conceptualized as the ability to acquire, process, and apply information. Interestingly, introverts and extroverts differ widely in the middle step, the processing of information. Introverts are more comfortable processing information alone and with plenty of lead time. Extroverts are more comfortable processing information in the presence of others and in real time. Perhaps the most common way these differences come to a head is in meeting preparation. Administration. Introverts need time to think deeply about material in advance of a meeting. Alternatively, extroverts get more from processing the material in the presence of others, getting clarification or engaging in sidebar conversations in the moment. Advice for extroverts working with introverts. 1. Don't assume that introverts are uninterested during meetings. They just choose their moments. 2. Give introverts time to recharge. If they opt out of opportunities to interact, it might be because they are more comfortable interacting with a select few or need to protect their energy levels. 3. Give introverts materials in advance. They'll have a much higher likelihood of contributing effectively during team sessions. Advice for introverts working with extroverts. 1. Don't categorize extroverts as being overbearing during meetings. It's not a character flaw. That's how they feel comfortable adding value. 2. Don't ignore extroverts. The stimulation helps them thrive. Be a good teammate and participate as best you can. But also be sure to take care of your own energy. 3. Don't check out when extroverts want to generate and debate ideas during team sessions. Although it may be energy depleting, extroverts need this interaction to work effectively.